8 gigabytes of RAM may have just been confirmed for the Quest 3 in what looks to be a retail handout that would possibly be displayed in stores next to the Quest displays or even handed out to customers. We're seeing a whole lot of details about the Quest 3 all on a one-pager. Among the many details and things we were all pretty well aware of, we do see here that it's saying 8 gigabytes of RAM. It had been long contested whether it was going to be 8 gigabytes of RAM, 12 gigabytes of RAM like the Quest Pro, but at least it's more than 6 gigabytes of RAM like the Quest 2 had. Other websites before had shown that it was supposed to be 12 gigabytes, leaving people still speculating, is it possible that the 512 gigabyte edition will also come with extra RAM? By the order of facts here on the sheet, it does look like they are pushing mixed reality first and calling it meta reality. Of course, talking about those pancake lenses with the 2.2K resolution per eye. Again, bringing up hand tracking to remind people that the controllers may not be as necessary. It's thinner profile, the better haptics in the controllers, the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 processor, and all the previous titles that will be forwards compatible. What do you think out there? Is 8 gigabytes of RAM sound like enough? We've seen people on Reddit talking about how even flagship phones still run on 8 gigabytes of RAM and can do some really intense gaming now, so maybe with mobile hardware it is enough. The fact sheet brought up another more concerning factor of saying 18 PPD. Now stick with me because this one gets a little technical. Pixels per degree is a measurement that we use in VR that is oftentimes cited to be better than something like resolution, because resolution can be spread over a wide field of view, a narrow field of view, and pixels per degree gives you a slightly better idea of what kind of screen door effect, what kind of resolution you're going to be seeing when you look through the lens at the actual display. 18 PPD has people worried because the Quest 2 was advertised at having 20 PPD and the Quest Pro was even advertised at having 22 PPD. This all bringing up some baffling questions of why would this have a lower PPD if the resolution is higher, if it looks like it's using the same lenses even as the Quest Pro. A couple things to consider here. PPD is typically measured by the highest PPD visible when looking at a device, where some devices like the Quest Pro actually put more pixels in the center of the display to help you when reading text that you're looking directly at. If they had measured that PPD, it could have looked higher even than the Quest 2 or what the rest of the Quest Pro display does. Other factors that can affect this, the Quest 2 had a single panel screen inside of it, meaning there was probably some dead space even though there were still pixels in the middle that weren't really being used as your eyes were looking at two separate sides of the screen. The Quest Pro used two separate panels. We still don't know for sure whether the Quest 3 is using a single or dual panel, although some websites have said before it looks to be a single LCD panel. And this could mean that even though it has the higher resolution, the actual PPD could be smaller due to that extra space in the middle that's unused. Other people are speculating that this PPD is only talking about the actual mixed reality PPD and not the screen resolution. Until we see some teardowns, until people can look through the lenses, it's hard to really know what this number means, but it was a big surprise when it showed up on that sheet. The 512 gigabyte Quest 3 has been a big question for a while of the price point. We've seen some EU prices with tax included, and converting it didn't really give us a clear price. It looks like it's going to be $650, according to some signage that a GameStop employee leaked over to Luna on Twitter. We see here the $499 price for the regular Quest 3, a $649 price, and although we only see a SKU, it's likely that that is, of course, the 512 gigabyte model. We see that it says it is available 10/10/23, pre-order now, and it says to display the sign in 5 print on September 27th, which is the same date, of course, as the Meta Connect keynote. This seems to add a little bit more confirmation to a lot of the details we had in that full Quest 3 breakdown video, but I'll leave a link to that in case you want to go check out all the other details over there. My question to you is, at $649, does that seem like the right price to go from 128 gigs to 512 gigs? Does that mean maybe they're going to include something? Is this some sort of bundle that comes with some extra digital content, some extra accessory? What do you think? Pass-through and mixed reality has been a big talk of the Quest 3 and its capabilities, and we saw a video come from Campfire 3D showing what's going on a Quest 3 dev kit, and the pass-through looks astonishingly good here. Granted, this is a very well-lit environment, but even when they look over outside and you can see out the window, it seems like objects at distance, things in the room are quite clear. A big question, of course, how will things close up look? If you hold up your phone, will you be able to read through it? It's also hard to know, is this going to show any of the distortion we would usually see inside of the mixed reality on the Quest Pro, or is this pulling from cameras inside of the Quest 3? I will say, if this pass-through from this video is true to life, it looks like a big step up, because even when you try and look at the darker zones of it, you don't see much of that graininess we really saw on the Quest Pro. So I hope and would love to see the pass-through look as good as it does in this video. We're seeing some more details dropping directly from Meta about how these headsets are being targeted teens, pre-teens, safety videos even targeted at the parents and for the youths, as they put it. Doesn't sound out of touch at all. They're actually kind of comical to watch if you're interested in them, just because the way they break it down is just so simplified, but it is helpful for parents who have never known what VR is or shown it to their kids before. Something interesting in the safety safety video for youths, we kind of see a detail about how the characters in mixed reality could actually interact with your environment. So even though your environment may stop, if they see that there's a piece of furniture, they could actually jump behind it and hide behind it. Makes for some interesting thoughts about what kind of games could have zombies crawling out from behind your furniture, coming through doorways that it senses. Definitely feels like this is the time where mixed reality gaming is going to get a lot better at using the real environment around you and not just spawning zombies through some random wall or something, but giving us the potential to actually feel like we're interacting with the real room around us. Keeping on the accessory train here, JayBratt is also announcing some new straps for the Quest 3. These of course being completely new features, but they're showing us here they're going to have an elite style head strap with some adaptive padding in the rear, meaning that we will pretty quickly have some non-meta options if you do prefer elite style straps. They're also showing a neckband power bank, which is kind of a neat idea to keep the weight off your head, I suppose. Something that I ultimately think would be kind of distracting hanging out on your shoulders, unless maybe you're used to those old school headphones that did that and had the little cords that run up from the side. I remember those were like a really big deal and they did not last long because they had to sit on your neck all the time. JayBratt reached out to me though, so as soon as we get a Quest 3 and as soon as these things come out, you'll start seeing reviews on the channel letting you know what we think of them here. As we dropped in a video yesterday, in case you missed it, BOBOVR gave us some exclusive info. They are doing a adapter that they are going to sell on Amazon so that if you have a Quest 2 with an M2 line strap, you can just get this adapter kit, retrofit it, switch it out, and continue using your strap on your Quest 3. Pretty simple unassembly. We went through the whole thing in the other video, so I'll leave a link up in the corner in case you want to check that one out. But this was a really cool decision by them, so I just wanted to bring it up again. They're doing this so that they can keep their straps going, keep them alive, and if you already had one, you want to put more money towards more battery packs, you could do that instead. A lot of people asked in the comments, what about the M1? What about the headphones? The M1 so far, I don't know if there is any conversion. It would be a lot harder to make that work, unfortunately, because it does need to snap on and hold something from the front for the pressure, and with that, it would potentially cover the new aux port, the new USB port, so I don't know if anything's coming from that. People asked about the A2 headphones, and of course, that's an even harder one. Those did move forward and cover up the ports, and also the audio cable on it's very short. It would need an extension to reach out to the other side of the headset. As I find out more, I'll definitely let you know out there what else is coming from them, but it's exciting to start to see some Quest 3 accessories rolling so that we won't have to stick with that stock head strap for long, and it's amazing that a company decided to let us keep using the one we had instead of just selling us a brand new strap. Assassin's Creed has been a long-awaited Quest 2 or Quest 3 title, and we got an official gameplay trailer, although it kept saying at the bottom either in-engine gameplay or not gameplay, so it may look a little different in the final product. The new trailer does look really good. We see elements of parkour, stealth, hidden weapons that you're using, and we now know it's coming November 16th. It is a cool trailer, and I'll leave it here for you to check out if you want to stick around and see some of that as we go. Days away from Connect here. I'm real excited to see the rest of what we get to see, get you some more Quest 3 details, but thanks again for coming out. I will see you in another reality.
The time for talking is over.
And the Italian nobleman Ezio Auditore.
It has been far too long.
You need to go undercover and stop Abstergo's plans at all costs.
Time to go to work.